You can do a shoulder press several different ways. You can put your flat hand against the baby's chest and press. I like doing the flat hand this way because it makes a nice little crook between my thumb and my first finger to catch the baby if it happens to fall out quickly. You can also do a shoulder press by grasping the baby's shoulders and pressing towards the pubic bone. Another option for doing a shoulder press is by pressing in the subclavicular space with double fingers. If you do a single shoulder press and it fails to release the baby's head, before trying an entirely different maneuver, we suggest trying what's called the rock and roll. This is where you do a series of short sustained bursts instead of one long press. With the rock and roll, you want to grab the shoulders, and instead of just doing one long single press, you do several shorter sustained bursts of pressure, inching the baby's head down bit by bit with each press. If you're unable to release the head with a shoulder press, and you've tried rock and roll, that is not successful either, one strategy is to try the Ritgen maneuver. After getting consent from the mother, you can insert 2 fingers through the rectum and get quite far, all the way back on top of the baby's head. You can then pull down on the baby's head to flex and bring it down. Let me show the Ritgen again. With 2 fingers, I insert them into the rectum, reach far up above the baby's head, all the way to the top of his head. Then by pulling down on the head, I can flex it and bring it down. You can also try a technique called crowning touch or finger flexion with either one or both hands, as described by Gail Tully and Betty Ann Davis. Inserting the fingers along the temporal bone, you reach up as far as you can and then manually flex the head with your fingertips, bringing it down like this. If you're unable to bring the head down despite trying a few of these techniques, you might consider doing a vaginal exam to determine if the head is perhaps not in the sacrum anterior. As you can see here, a vaginal exam will find that the baby's chin is not facing straight towards you, but in fact is off to your right. Using your fingers, you can then realign the baby's head so that it faces sacrum anterior and is able to be born. In the extremely rare event of a hyperextended head that is caught on the sacral promontory, flexion is not going to release the head. In this case, you'll clearly palpate the baby's head above the pubic bone. The solution is to elevate the baby, have an attendant put suprapubic pressure on the back of the baby's head. That will help flex the head. And then you want to rotate the baby slightly to the oblique one way or the other way. Your assistant externally can also help with this rotation, so the baby's head can drop into the oblique space and then come back and be born. You can also perform a Marisot-Smellie Vite with a woman in an upright position. It's the same technique, but reversed to account for the position. So you would insert one hand to pull down on the cheekbones and or putting a finger in the baby's mouth, the other hand behind the occiput pushing upwards to then flex the baby and bring it down, pulling in the direction of the sacral curve. And what if you have a posterior head that's trapped on the pubic bone, so the chin is hung up on the pubic bone? Most midwifery and obstetric textbooks suggest that the best approach is to simply help the baby's head flex and duck underneath the pubic bone. If the woman is upright, you essentially do a modified Marisot-Smellie Vite, pushing up on the occiput, pulling down on the baby's cheekbones, flexing the head and ducking it under the pubic bone, like so.